You just checked your bank account again. Again, for the third time today. $47,329. Look at that. You didn't buy the expensive coffee, didn't take the vacation, canceled the streaming services. You did everything right. And in doing so, you just locked yourself into 20 more years of financial struggle. What I'm about to show you will make you physically sick. Good, you should be. Her name is Michelle Torres, 34, Dallas, tax accountant, $92,000 a year. She's got $51,000 in her savings account, no credit card debt, never missed a payment on anything in her entire adult life. Her father taught her this, showed her his savings passbook from 1987. This is how you build wealth, mija. Slow and steady. You want to know what's funny? In 1987, $12,000 could buy you a brand new Honda Accord. Today, her father has $94,000 saved, 37 years of discipline, and that money buys him the exact same Honda Accord. He didn't get poorer, but he sure as hell didn't get richer. And here's the part that's going to piss you off. Michelle's coworker Jason, 29 years old, makes $73,000, has $800 in checking. $800. But he owns 3 rental properties in Oklahoma City. Bought them in 2020 when Michelle was protecting her savings from the market crash. Monthly passive income, $4,400. He makes more in his sleep than Michelle saves in 3 months of discipline. Same office, same coffee machine, different universes. Michelle checks her balance 17 times a week. She doesn't know this. If you asked her, she'd say maybe 5. We counted 17 times. Each time she sees that number grow, her brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine, safety, control, progress. It's the same neural pattern as a gambler watching a slot machine reels. Quick, when's the last time you checked your bank balance? Yeah, that's what I thought. September 2019. Michelle is at a wedding, sits next to a guy who works in private equity. He tells her about a ground floor opportunity in a medical billing startup. Minimum investment is $20,000, expected 10x return in 5 years. She thinks, $20,000? That's almost half my safety net. What if it fails? What if there's an emergency? What if I lose my job? She passes, gives him her card to stay in touch, deletes his email 3 weeks later. That startup sold last month. Early investors got 14x returns. Michelle's $20,000 would be worth $280,000. Instead, she has $51,000, and she feels good about it. But here's what actually happened, and this is what the financial literacy industrial complex will never tell you. While Michelle was protecting her $20,000, inflation averaged 4.8% per year. Her purchasing power dropped 21%. In real terms, her $20,000 became $15,800. She didn't protect it, she evaporated it, and she did it legally, responsibly, exactly as advised. Michelle banks with a top 3 national institution. They give her 4.35% interest on her savings. She thinks they're being generous. Oh, honey. Here's the play. They take her $51,000, pay her $2,218 a year in interest, then turn around and loan that exact money to someone else at 7.2% for a car loan. That's $3,672. Michelle makes the bank $1,454 for the privilege of lending them her own money. Now multiply Michelle by 40 million Americans. That's $58 billion in profit annually, just from savings accounts. But here's what nobody tells you about high-yield savings accounts. That 4.35% rate is variable, meaning the bank can change it whenever they want. In 2022, when inflation hit 9%, her rate was 0.5%. She was losing 8.5% per year in purchasing power. The bank's mortgage rates during that same time stayed at 6 to 7%. They made record profits while you got poorer, and they called it macroeconomic conditions. It's not a conspiracy, it's just business, and you're the product. But okay, fine, Michelle's not stupid. She's got a 401k too, $32,000, diversified target date fund. Smart, right? Management fee, 0.87%. Expense ratio, 0.63%. Administrative fee, $47 annually. Sounds like nothing, right? Less than 2% total? Over 30 years, those small fees will consume $187,000 of her returns. $187,000 for a robot to buy an index fund she could purchase herself for free. And the advisor who sold her this plan, he got a $1,200 commission up front, guaranteed. Michelle's returns, not so guaranteed. March 2020, the S&P 500 drops 34% in 23 days, fastest crash in history. Michelle watches her retirement account bleed $11,000 in 3 weeks. She can't sleep, can't eat, checks her balance every hour. Her father calls, "Mija, get out, save what's left. This is 2008 all over again." March 23rd, 6:47 a.m. Michelle sitting in her car before work, finger on the button, one click. This moment right here is worth more than every financial decision she's made in her entire life combined. Timeline A, she clicks, locks in her losses, moves everything to cash, safe. Timeline B, she does nothing, or better, she buys more. The market recovered in 16 months, then hit all-time highs. Timeline B, Michelle, her $21,000 became $54,000. Timeline A, Michelle, saved her money and destroyed her future. She sold on March 24th, felt smart for 6 months. She still tells people she got out before it got worse. It never got worse. She just stopped watching. Today, Michelle is 34 years old. Total net worth, $63,400. Sounds okay. Let's run the real numbers. Social Security at 67, $2,340 per month. Her savings stretched over 30 years, maybe $600 per month. Total retirement income, $2,940. Her current monthly expenses, $4,100. She's not building wealth. She's building a time bomb. Meet Patricia Nguyen, Richmond, Virginia. Lived Michelle's exact life. Saved responsibly. Avoided risk. Retired at 66 with $210,000. She's 74 now. She rations her blood pressure medication. Takes it every other day instead of daily. Not because she's irresponsible, because her money ran out at 71. This is what financial security bought her. Her childhood friend, Linda, bought a duplex in 2010 when everyone said real estate was dead. Lived in one unit, rented the other. Bought 2 more properties by 2015. Linda's monthly rental income, $6,700. She travels 4 months a year. Same neighborhood, same high school, same starting line. One feared risk, the other feared regret. Guess which fear was more dangerous? The financial media complex doesn't want this conversation. Scared people click. Scared people buy books. Scared people watch 12 hours of market analysis. Every headline is architected to freeze you, to keep you hoard, to keep you liquid and powerless. Because the moment you move, the moment you invest, build, risk, you stop being profitable to them. Right now, you're calculating, aren't you? Well, my savings are for emergencies. I need 6 months of expenses liquid. This doesn't apply to my situation. That voice in your head, that's not wisdom. That's the cage teaching you to love your chains. Every major fortune built in the last 50 years came from someone buying when you were selling, buying real estate in 2010 when you were being smart, buying stocks in 2020 when you were protecting yourself, buying Bitcoin at $8,000 when you were waiting for proof. The rich didn't get lucky, they got uncomfortable, and you stayed safe. Michelle is still out there, still checking her balance, still feeling proud of her discipline, and Jason just closed on his 4th rental property. So here's the only question that matters. What are you really protecting? Your future or your fear? Because those two things are exact opposites. That number you keep checking, it's not growing, it's a countdown. Listen, if this made you uncomfortable, good. Drop a comment right now and tell me your savings account balance. Dead serious, no judgment, just transparency. Because the conversation you're afraid to have is the exact one you need. Next video, the accountant who turned $4,200 into $340,000 in 18 months using a tax strategy so simple it feels illegal. It's not, but the IRS really wishes it was. I'll see you in the next video.